Something just changed. U.S.-Iran tensions are rising fast. In the last 72 hours, something changed between the United States and Iran, and most people haven't noticed it yet. But if this continues, it could change far more than just regional tensions. It could change everything. Over the past few days, tensions between the United States and Iran have taken a noticeable turn. This isn't just another exchange of words or political warnings. There have been movements, responses, and signals that suggest something deeper is unfolding behind the scenes. Military presence in key areas has increased. Strategic regions are being watched more closely. And both sides are no longer speaking in the same tone they were just weeks ago. At first glance, it may seem like just another moment of geopolitical tension. But this time, it feels different. The relationship between the United States and Iran has never been simple. For decades, both nations have stood on opposite sides of influence, power, and control in the Middle East. There have been moments of escalation before. Moments where the world thought things might spiral out of control. But what's happening right now stands out for one reason. This is no longer just about warnings. It's about actions. Subtle shifts in strategy, increased readiness, and a pattern that suggests both sides are preparing, not just reacting. And when preparation replaces reaction, the risk level changes. Here's what most people are missing. This situation is not developing loudly. It's happening quietly, step by step. And that's what makes it more dangerous. Because when tensions rise slowly, without a single dramatic moment, people tend to ignore the buildup. But history shows something important. Major conflicts rarely begin with one big event. They build, silently, until one moment changes everything. And right now, we may be in that build-up phase. If tensions between the United States and Iran continue to rise, the consequences won't stay limited to just these two countries. The Middle East is one of the most strategically important regions in the world. Energy routes, global trade, and international alliances are all connected to stability in this area. Even a small escalation could have ripple effects. Oil prices could rise. Global markets could react. Other countries could be pulled into the situation. And suddenly, what started as a regional issue becomes a global concern. That's why experts and analysts are watching this so closely. Because the impact could go far beyond what most people expect. Right now, a full-scale war has not started. And that's important to understand. But the risk is not zero. In fact, it's growing. Because when tensions reach a certain point, it doesn't always take a major decision to trigger escalation. Sometimes, all it takes is a single miscalculation, a misunderstanding, or a moment where one side responds more strongly than expected. And once that line is crossed, it becomes much harder to step back. So what happens now? There are two possible paths. The first path is de-escalation. Diplomatic efforts increase. Communication improves. And both sides choose to step back before things go too far. The second path is escalation, where each move leads to another. Each response becomes stronger, and the situation slowly moves toward conflict. Right now, both possibilities exist, and that uncertainty is what makes this moment so critical. And here's the part that should make everyone pause. Most people aren't even paying attention, because there's no single headline that explains everything. No one moment that clearly defines what's happening. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. In fact, it might mean the opposite. As of now, there is no official war between the United States and Iran. But something has clearly changed. The tone has shifted. The signals are different. And the situation is more serious than it appears on the surface. The good news is, there is still time. Time for diplomacy. Time for decisions that can prevent things from going too far. Because once escalation crosses a certain point, it becomes much harder to control. So the question is, do you think this situation will calm down? Or are we slowly moving towards something much bigger?